let's consolidate Jeremiah and Lamentations together as we consider finding the Messiah in those books. I know those are two different books, and they have two really distinct personalities, if you will. But for the purposes of this, they're both written by Jeremiah. They're both kind of concerned with the same circumstances. So let's consider them as one. And if we're looking for the Messiah in them, you find him in Jeremiah chapter 23, verses 5 and 6. You find him where Jeremiah says, "Behold, the days come, says the Lord, that I will raise up unto David a righteous branch." Now, Jesus is often called, throughout Old Testament text, a branch or a sprout. That sort of, I don't want to say vegetable, that sort of plant metaphor-like concept is predominant in Old Testament writings to describe Jesus, especially in the prophets. And so here he says, "I'm going to raise up unto David a righteous branch, and a king will reign and prosper, and he will execute judgment and justice in the earth." Judgment is the verdict, justice is the result. "In his days Judah shall be saved." And again, you got to remember, when you're reading these things, you're reading about a prophet writing to a particular people, or writing about a particular people. And so the message is going to be kind of funneled through that viewpoint. It's going to be filtered through that concept. So even though Jesus will save all of humanity, Jeremiah's not writing to all of humanity. So he focuses in on his target audience, and what they're about to go through and what they're going through, the exile into Babylon. So he says, "In the days of the Messiah, Judah shall be saved, and Israel will dwell safely." Of course, at the time of Jeremiah, the kingdoms were split, but he foresees a united people again. Incidentally, united under the Messiah's banner. "And this is his name, whereby he shall be called the Lord our righteousness." He will be called Jehovah of righteousness. That is how Jeremiah depicts the Messiah to come. So you have a book, two books really, but just considering it as a whole, dealing with the exile of the people into captivity, into exile, Babylon, and the great weeping and lamentation as a result of their many sins and all the opportunities they had to avert this crisis, but they chose not to. They chose to stay in sin and end up being punished. And how in all of that darkness, there is this faint silver lining that the prophet predicts will get brighter and grander and greater, and it will come in the form of the Messiah to come, and he will eventually save everyone. Now, if I'm a Judean reading the text, I'm only thinking of, okay, the Messiah will come and get us out of exile. As history bears out, they'll get out of exile first, and then the Messiah will come. Because Jeremiah is not necessarily thinking of your physical hardship. He's thinking of your spiritual shackles. And so he says the Messiah will get you out of exile to come. That's Jeremiah Lamentations. That's how they view the Messiah in the Old Testament.